Welcome to the Loaded Cannon, and today, man, what a shambles! I was just gutted, absolutely gutted after the final whistle. In fact, you know what? It wasn't even the final whistle. Even during the game, I was absolutely gutted because at no point in the game today, after Newcastle scored their obviously early goal, did I feel like we were genuinely going to come back and win the game. Honestly, there's some games with this Arteta team where I've been in the ground and I thought to myself, you know, yeah, we might be down, but I've got full confidence we're going to come and win this game or at least equalise. But today, at no point, and I'm used to saying the opposite. I'm used to turning around and saying, I always thought we were going to win. But today, at no point in the game did I think we were going to win. After Newcastle got their goal, I mean, look, they were very, very good today, but we were never able to wrestle control of the game. We were never able to stamp our authority, our identity, our personality onto the game today. And do you know what? Sometimes you go to St James's Park as a away team, and there is something about that ground when the team gets behind them, when they're up for it. It's almost like the pitch feels so big and I don't know, man, like there's something about that ground where I feel like the pitch looked smaller for them. They were always quicker to the ball. They were always had it felt like they had more men on the pitch almost. And for us, the spaces between our players, it just felt like we didn't get it right today. Our distances between players was not right. Our pressing, our work rate, our movement, our options, just nothing matched Newcastle today. I thought Newcastle, to give them credit and not just to speak about Arsenal and how bad we were, I thought Newcastle were absolutely brilliant today. And you know, when you lose a game, you think to yourself, all right, well, we bad, or was the other team really, really good? And you know what? The fact of the matter is today, I think Newcastle just deserve a hell of a lot of praise. Arsenal weren't good, but it wasn't good because we were having a bad day. I think we weren't good because Newcastle were just having such a good day. Everything that they did was really, really good. On the ball, off the ball, work rate, running forward, running backward, pressing, doubling up, tripling up on Martinelli and Saka. And you think if they're doing that at times, with Martinelli especially, I felt like they tripled up on him. And then you think to yourself, okay, that's good. There's three on him now. Quickly shift the ball. But as soon as we did that, those players that had sort of joined Livramento to defend against Martinelli, they so quickly snapped back into shape to cover off where the ball had gone. They were just brilliant to watch from a sort of tactical defensive perspective. So actually, do you know what? I don't think Arsenal were as bad as what many people will make out today. It's just that Newcastle nullified us. Simple as that. We were absolutely nullified by Newcastle. If Newcastle weren't as diligent with their defending, like how many times did we see Newcastle players sprinting back like Joel Linton did it? You saw Anthony Gordon doing it, and they were celebrating. Fabian Schär was getting back so well. They were getting back and they were celebrating their clearances and stuff. And honestly, I thought to myself, they'll tire, they will tire, they will tire. That's what I was thinking in the game, trying to harbour some hope that we could get back into the game. But they didn't tire. They were so up for it today. And another team, if they weren't as diligent, if they didn't do their job as well as Newcastle did, Arsenal would have come back into it today. But I think you just have to give Newcastle a lot of credit. Tactically, they bossed it. They made home advantage count. They were clinical with their chances. Isak with that header. I mean, beautiful cross, beautiful header. I don't fault. I really don't even fault any particular player. Maybe you could say we could have got out. If anything, we could have got out to the cross and tried to stop the cross coming in, whilst we sort of accepted it would go in. But with Gabriel and Saliba, how many times do they just deal with crosses? It was just overall Newcastle were much better than us. And I think at points today in the game, I thought to myself, sometimes you get signs in the game where it's not going to be your day. At one point, I think it might have been Anthony Gordon put a cross in. The ball beat everyone, and then it hit the corner flag and stayed in. And a Newcastle player, typically representative of today, was the first one to go and get the ball. And you think to yourself, like an overhit cross and you don't get any respite, they still pick up the ball when it hits off the corner flag. Another thing that made me just think, not our day today. Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka are such dependable set piece takers for Arsenal, so much so that we're set piece FC. But Declan Rice today, on two occasions, only one man to beat. And not only did he hit the first man twice, I think on one of those occasions, if not both, not only did it hit the first man, it stuck to the first man. It's like he basically just passed it to him. And you think to yourself, at least ricochet off of him, go for a corner or something. But Newcastle got the rub of the green today, but they absolutely deserved it. One thing I have to say as well, obviously no Ben White and Thomas Partey in the team and having to rejig things like that, that's not ideal either. But when I saw that Gabriel was playing with Saliba, I thought to myself, I thought we'd be without that first choice centre-back pairing for a while. And that gave me a bit of hope. But ultimately, it wasn't enough today. We as a team just weren't good enough. Trossard, I felt like he didn't impact the game enough. Kai Havertz, just his form has dipped slightly recently. Obviously, a brilliant header, but Carabao Cup against Preston. But his form has dipped slightly, and there just weren't enough players today that I felt like came out and had a really, really good game that drove the team forward. Declan Rice, as he always does, is not for a lack of trying. He put in a shift, put in a lot of effort, but it didn't it just wasn't his day. I wanted to wait until after the final whistle to do my response today because I was feeling really downbeat about it. And I think that the reality is Liverpool are a different proposition to Man City. Liverpool will have a blip. We know Man City can just almost go a whole season without having too much of a blip. So I wanted to wait until they had played their 3 p.m. kickoffs today in the hope that one of them would drop points because Liverpool are doing so well, but I still think they'll have a blip, and I was hoping it would be today. But Man City, without Rodri, I think there's always a chance. And let me just say one thing as well about the Ballon d'Or. He absolutely deserved the Ballon d'Or. You imagine if Rodri had done everything that he has achieved in his position, but was an attacker and therefore had as many goal and assists as his level of performance would deserve, playing in an advanced position compared to the position he plays at, there'd be no debate. It's purely the attacker bias that makes there be a group of people that are saying Vinicius should win a Ballon d'Or. It's absolutely Rodri. He's a deserved winner. And you can see how important he is to the Man City team. Thank God they lost to Bournemouth today. I would have come on here today and I basically would have said, 8 points behind City, even after 10 games played, to get 8 points off of City in 28 games would be a real tough ask. Because even with that 28 games, they will drop points as well. So it means that you've got to almost get more than the 8 points and overtake Man City somehow. Thank God they lost today. So I personally still think we're in with a little chance, but we're in a bit of a crisis. 1 point out of 9 in the last 3 Premier League games. We're not playing very well at the moment. Let me know what you think the issue is. Every time I watch Arsenal play without Martin Odegaard, for me, I think we've actually done fairly well to cope without him. But today was the day that we really missed him. I feel like he is sort of irreplaceable. And I'd almost like to say to Ethan Nwaneri, do you know what? You can get a nod in the team. You can get a chance to try and be that creative spark, that inventive spark that I thought Arsenal were missing today. Today, to me, it looked like, if you've ever been to St James's Park as an away fan, the amount of stairs you have to climb, it's almost like the Arsenal players had done that before kickoff because they were just lethargic. We didn't have that invention, that creativity and that movement to us. And when Martin Odegaard's playing, I think that comes alive. All of that just happens because when he gets the ball, players move off of him so well. Saka deputised so well for Martin Odegaard in the time that he's been out, but it didn't happen today, and Newcastle just dominated. For me, that was the issue today. But let me know why you think we're struggling in recent weeks, because we better fix up, otherwise we're going to be out of this title race. I'll see you next time. Keep the faith. Up the Arsenal.